Rule 34 Artists of Reddit. What was it like on the first time you started drawing porn? Drew a stickman with one leg too many. I write instead of drawing, though I do follow lots of NSFW artists and spend a fair amount of time cursing their skill and my lack thereof. First time I decided to write a full hardcore story, I was on a work trip sitting idle in a hotel lobby while waiting for the next work thing to happen. While I had a lot of experience writing in general, most SX scenes were always gently wafting curtains. Turning off that filter and writing full on engorged CCK and swollen TTS was quite liberating. Otherwise, I was sitting at work, so it felt more or less like being a cheeky student writing swear words on the desk. Later, writing in private, the work was more inspiring. Once you've done it for a while, you start working off the craft a little more than off the urge. First story came out like dirty talk during SX. Lots of focus on using SI words, overly gratuitous moaning noises, stuff like that. Stories nowadays go a little more like dirty talk while having breakfast the next morning. Annoying. The first time you try to draw anatomy you've never done before, it's a pain in the ass. Biobs are surprisingly hard to make look right. Then again, some people pull a Michelangelo and staple them on, and it looks awful but no one notices. Edit. Welp, now my top comment is my bitching about poorly drawn biobs on the internet. I should not be surprised. I had no idea what I was doing and drew really terrible anatomy. It really helped me realize that even for my SFW works, perfecting a character's anatomy is very important to do before clothing them. Now it's just the same as if I was drawing anything else, except I'm mildly HRNY during the process. Edit. I don't post anything on Reddit or under this name BTW. Just a heads up. I often use PRN as a reference for drawings because it's easy to find pictures of naked people of all sizes in every imaginable posture. So it wasn't that much of a leap. It was on Boru. You get a lot of likes and commissions. Easy money. But it gets old real quick. Don't know what people's deal is with tentacles. They always need more. I was inspired by Manara, who is a very fine artist. But he didn't only draw PRN. You also start to understand things like why gynecologists aren't aroused by their work. I was in math class and I was bored. You start with your own unique style, but kinda like the Skyrim stealth archer meme, you eventually and inevitably end up drawing for furries. It's a side hustle. I'm not a full-time artist or aspiring to be one. It's a hobby for me, but dead as furries put artists through college. It's a solid way to make money, but it's embarrassing, hence why I don't tell anyone I do it. BC they'd judge me the first time. I was just kind of like, damn, has it really come to this? But now it's just a convenient way to make money. It was really embarrassing, lol. I had to put down my tablet pen and just contemplate every 5 minutes because I felt like an absolute fool. Sometimes I see Rule 34 commissions my girlfriend is working on, and I'm just really confused why somebody wants to have a drawing of that. It's a decent side income for her, and most people who commission art from her seem quite polite and reliable about paying compared to when she does other stuff like band logo commissions. They just request some really odd things. A giant robot fridge with a DCK that comes out of the freezer compartment that's simultaneously screwing a furry skunk character and turning them into an ice cube was a pretty memorable why moment. Posting for my so, since she does not use a Reddit. Pros. Money is great. Nobody bitches and whines about paying in exposure. Most clients are polite. Cons. Some requests make you hate human race. You can't even mention you are a female cause they will simp all over you. Some clients can be very picky about end products. Details don't ask. Artists can't find the right PRN to jerk off to. Makes one. Yeah. It was the other day. Someone told me to do it, and it seems I always do what I'm told. Their suggestion and my talent yielded something the world should never have seen. Well, I got really HRNY, as expected. Really easy finding good references GBH. Rule 34 Artists of Reddit. I just want to say, thank you. What was it like first? Well, I had to change my underwear couple of times. Being able to draw exactly what you imagine is something that's hard to describe without trying it out. When I first started sharing my art online, I used to get somewhere between 0 and 10 likes on it. After switching to NSFW, those numbers went to 100s and sometimes 1000s. I still haven't made any money out of this, but that's something I hope to be able to do in the future. Halfway through I lost all horniness, and it became about getting the proportions right. Visions of DCKS dancing in the head. I got off to my own acid and realized I had a destiny to fulfill. I was pretty young, like 12Y or something, and I used to draw it when I was HRNY. That wasn't too often though, but it was interesting, weird and confusing. I didn't figure out myself yet, lol. It took me years to notice I like to draw NSFW for its artistic and narrative value aside from titillating other people, and nowadays I'm trying to grow a NSFW Twitter account and see where it leads me to. Sadly, I haven't got tons of money from it, just a few commissions. Can't really say. I had a commission one day and I rarely get commission that was futanery, and my then husband came home, got a glance at my Wacom screen and simply shook his head. These days I get the usual questions of, don't you get aroused by your own art? Do you mind if I jacked it to your work? I was trying to do SMTH for my ex. I was getting into digital art for fun, and I struggled with the human body and skin. So she told me to draw her from memory, and I did, and she liked it. So she told me to draw stuff for her from time to time, Wattpad fanfics basically. She described the character and I would draw them, and she lines be like, oh yeah, it's odd seeing a representation. Thakas hun. I felt awkward, but it was hilarious too. Till I didn't need to know any of this. Just had to read it all. Can't unsee. I just started drawing NSFW fan art as a kid and never thought it was a weird thing to do.